Hey, Darren here. New housing market stats just came out today. Happy first day of spring, by the way. Nice snowy day. And I get this question a lot. Hey, what's the housing market going to do? Is it going to crash? What are prices going to do? No one really knows for sure, but we can look at the stats, look at some historical figures and see what's going to take place or to help us project what might take place. And then maybe we can talk a little bit about some strategies moving forward based on the housing market. But with that question is now a great time to buy a house, or when should I buy a house? Or a lot of people say I'm waiting. So let's just take a look and see where we're at. Okay, so this is for the month of February 2023. The median days, average and median are different for those of you that remember your stats class. Median is the center point. So half of the homes are below the 50 mark, half of the homes were above the 50 mark. So 50 days, that was the middle range of days it took to sell a home on the market. Now, an average time for a home to be sold in a normal market can be upwards of 6 months. So 50 days is still well inside of 2 months, which means it's still a seller's market, which means there's people buying homes. Demand is high. You can see the price per square foot is almost 215, and almost 2,400 homes were sold. Now you can see that number is down 16% from last year, almost 16%, 15.8. And of that number, 1,811 homes were single family. Now, in your bottom left-hand corner, you can see the median sold price dropped 4.6% from last February of 2022. But I'm going to show you something kind of interesting about that on a single family home. Okay, so we've only gone down 4.6% since last February. Okay, so this is 2022 stats. Don't get confused. This is 2022. Look at the median days on the market. It was only 6 days. That's insane. That means buyer demand was absolutely unprecedented and through the roof. And if you look in the bottom left-hand corner there where it says median sold price, that 549 number was up 28% from the previous February. So that is a massive, unprecedented increase. And of that increase, I'm going to go back here. This last year, only that price, median sold price, has only gone down by 4.6%. So a lot of people were hoping that that big increase that happened really, really quick would kind of get lopped off and go back to normal. And it is kind of pulling back slightly, but based on these numbers, it hasn't come back, hasn't lost 28%, just like that number would show. So, and also if you look at the number of listings entered, back in 2022, in February, there were over 3,800. In 2021, there were 3,500. And this year, there were just under 3,300. So we're all kind of in the same range. In 2008, I remember there were so many homes on the market. And I realize this is a little bit anecdotal, but I remember going on KSL to see how many homes were sold, or for sale. And their average number was about 7,000 listings on KSL. But I remember looking after the crash, that number ballooned to 14,000 plus listings. So there were homes all over the place for sale. Now, the hard thing is right now is there is still just not that many homes for sale. And that is keeping inventory short, and it's going to keep home prices probably up. So the question is this a good time to buy a house? Well, the answer to that is always, what is your long-term plan? So a better question to ask may not be, is now a good time? A better question to ask is, when am I going to sell it? So for example, I bought a home in 2007, right at the point of, or the high point of that market. And that was a terrible time, short run to buy a home. But guess what? After a long period of time, it did drop. But in less than, in a number of years, it went right back up to where it was and then exceeded it. So had I sold the home 6 months after I bought it, it would have been a terrible time to buy and a worse time to sell. But ultimately, it was a great time to buy because when I sold it, and I sold it for more than I paid for it, and it was a great time to sell. So the answer really is, when are you planning on selling? Because that could make all the difference in the world. So when you buy a house, it's up to you, and what you think is the best move for you and your loved ones. My goal is to make sure that your place that you buy is a great extension of yourself. So everybody that's been through the home buying process, they see homes they like, they see homes they don't like, but then they find that one that just seems to fit. It's because homes are an extension of ourselves, and it takes a lot of thinking and doing and planning and looking to find just that right place, because location, the home style, the finance package, all these things really are an extension of the person that buys the home. And so it's really important that we find out who you are and how to get you a place that it's an extension of you. All right. So if you have any questions, comment below, shoot me a message, and we can start looking for a place for you when the time is right for you. Hope that helps.